Hey guys, welcome back to Bustin Experience. I'm Brandon, and of course I have my dad here all the time. We have a couple of wonderful guests here, and they have a podcast called, go ahead, I'll just let you say it.
It's Living a Healthy Lifestyle.
Awesome, and so we're going to have a great conversation, but before we get to that, let me just give a shout out to the sponsor, which is Hebrews Coffee Smoother. Guys, you guys got to try this stuff. This stuff is amazing. It is literally changing lives. Just throw that stuff in there, guys, if you have acid reflux problems, indigestion, heartburn, upset stomach, any of that stuff, or if you just don't like the taste of bitter coffee and you need it to be smoothed out, just throw some Hebrews in there, and it's going to taste so sweet and so good. You're going to love it, okay? Did you want to give that testimony?
Yeah, I'll give it.
There's a testimony. Hold on. There's a testimony.
My daughter just got out of the hospital, and she was in there for about 6 days. Nothing serious, but had to have some work done. And while she was in there, she couldn't drink their coffee. By the time she got home, she said that she was having caffeine withdrawals because she couldn't drink coffee at the hospital because of the acid reflux. She has drunk, and she's had Hebrews coffee smoother for the last year. That's the only coffee she can drink. So that was anecdotal evidence. That poor girl, she was going through caffeine withdrawals because she couldn't drink their coffee. Got home, drank it with the Hebrews, smooth sailing.
It's good and kind of bad at the same time for that case, but that's how powerful this stuff is, guys. So, get it, buy it, and make sure you use that promo code. Circle back and you'll get 50% off of the coffee brands, not the smoother, but the coffee brands. So, check them out, guys, www.hebrewscoffeesmoothie.com. All right, now with all that out of the way, my wonderful guests. How are you guys? How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We feel amazing, Brandon.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you guys on. I know you were telling me a little bit about your story and kind of how you got to where you are, and so I'm excited to hear the full thing. So go ahead. Let's start this off soft. Like, who are you guys? What do you guys do? Tell me about yourselves.
I'm Carrie Kay. I'm originally from California, and California girl turned country. So I lived in the country a lot. I'm also a singer and songwriter. And
what kind of songs do you sing? Like what type of
country
music?
And Western, but I do country Christian.
Oh, nice!
Country
Very cool.
Christian music.
So Christian woman, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like I could take a song called the country song about loving. Oh, I can't think of the name of it now. I'm getting a brain fart.
Because you're on the spot. That's why.
I thought it was Dream On.
Huh?
Dream On. We were changing the words to it.
Well, we changed the words to certain things. So
I gotcha.
For different songs. So, I Got You, Babe would be I Got You, God.
Oh, nice.
So we have to talk to Sonny and Cher.
That's awesome. And you host a podcast, right?
I do, yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I actually was on the radio station with 106.1 Tan Talk Radio, Hollywood Connections, and Don Reese, and I'm really grateful to being on that. And now I'm out on my own, doing my own.
That's awesome.
I read about it online. I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur for the last 20-some years. I've done every network marketing company there is.
Okay.
And I started in health and wellness at a very young, like 20-some years old. I started really getting healthy after I had my first child.
That's awesome. And what made you decide that to get really healthy?
I was 185 pounds.
That'll do it. And I imagine with that came some problems.
Yeah, it was really hard to figure out what foods to eat, what combinations. There was all the lies out there about, fat-free this and light that. And there was all these sugars and processed things. And so I just started educating myself for the last umpteen years. And I just graduated from New York Institution of Nutrition.
Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations.
And holistic health, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm actually certified holistic health coach now. So I'm
very cool. So that means we need to be coming to you for our nutrition.
Helping people is my passion. I really feel like I'm, without helping people, I'm not really doing what it is that I was placed on the earth to do.
I got you. If you're not helping people, there's no point in doing whatever it is you're doing.
Okay.
So that's awesome. That's cool. So tell me, how's the podcast going? Are you guys getting some traction?
Well, I'm going out to the Sun Festival this weekend, and we did a few interviews. I'm also just go out and interview. I look for certain things that are going on with the businesses, holistic health. Like I went and interviewed a doctor the other day with acupuncture.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm just kind of going out there and, I used to do this all the time with the radio. Why not bring it in to different podcasts. It's what I've already been doing. So just going out and mingling with the people and getting to know who they are and what they have to offer.
Very cool. I have a question. So what do you think is probably the top 3 mistakes that Americans make with their food choices?
Well, we eat too much meat.
Too much meat.
Way too much red meat. I typically, I'm not going to say that I'm a veg. I'm not.
Okay.
And I don't believe in all the diet fads. I believe in the gut health. I believe in the second brain is your gut.
Okay.
Health.
Yep.
It's the second brain. So your first brain is, controls what you eat, and then your gut is really the second brain. So I teach my clients to really, really work on going and looking at their diet, and they can do like an elimination diet. So you can bring eggs in and you can see if the eggs are causing issues with your body.
Okay.
I was doing them way too much. I was eating eggs 5 days a week, and I'm like, well, I gotta stop that, right? So I cut back to now I have eggs maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Awesome. And you notice a huge difference as far as clarity? And
yes, I have a lot more energy. I feel amazing. And I'm just teaching my clients that it's all about gut health.
What do you think of keto?
I'm really not into it.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm not. I'm into eating plant-based foods.
Okay.
I'm into eating the way that nature intended. I started a business with cleaning the way nature intended, and that changed everything for me too. Not using chemicals in our home, using all Melaleuca products, using products made with tea tree oil.
Okay.
Killing the bugs. They literally keep the bugs away. So it's just all these natural homeopathic things that I do with holistic ways.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about vegan diets? What do you think of those?
It's okay for some people to do different diets. It's whatever works for the individual. For me, I actually do like to go vegan every now and then.
Kind of do a cleanse?
Yes, but it's not a constant. Every single day I'm going to go vegan.
Yeah.
I like to keep it simple, but I also like to keep it different.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I hate about the whole food industry is there's a lot of lies out there. They're
lying to people.
They're just trying to sell you a product.
Yeah. So the other thing that I think is really wrong is the labeling. The labeling has to stop. That's just wrong. I started checking out the labeling back in the 80s, and that's how I found out that...
Now, what do you mean by labeling? Like, what's being misled?
Well, what's being misled is that it may say that it has a certain thing on it in the food, and then when I go and I look that ingredient up, it's a chemical called glyphosate. And it's in over 40,000 foods. And so we're being poisoned every day. Yeah. If I could say that.
Wow. No, yeah, you're cool if they did whatever. I don't care about YouTube anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, I'm just going to speak the truth.
Absolutely.
That, we're up against a huge company that has put its ugly hands in our food system. And if you go back to the 1950s, that's where it all started, where everybody was like, microwave. No, cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer. Convenience cancer. McDonald's cancer.
Yeah.
Right? So we go back to the natural way that God taught us how to eat, where we eat a lot of fresh greens, we eat a lot of proteins that are good for us. But I like my steak once in a while.
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
Of course. Right. And I think you hit it right on the head is, people find a good thing and then they just dive in 100% and they just eat it or do it, and it ends up being a really bad thing for them.
Yeah. And our kids are being shown all these commercials that are so wrong. They're causing them to want these sugars, and in the next 10 years about 90% of children are going to have diabetes.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because
we are headed down a horrible diabetes trail with the children, and so I'm trying to turn that around by maybe even possibly going into schools and talking to them about doing more programs where it's healthier foods for the children. I actually saw that in the school that I just came from.
Oh yeah?
The children were growing things in all of my curriculum that I looked at. They were growing their own plants. It was really cool. They were having fun. They're like, wow, this really grew. This is green and it's growing. It's kind of like walking around with the baby egg that they used to do, and taking care of a baby egg. kind of
and sugar's like really highly addictive as well.
It's deadly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's literally like a drug. Like it really is. Like your body goes through like withdrawals and stuff whenever you don't have it, and you start getting headaches and stuff like that. And
well, another thing too is I'm a breast cancer survivor.
oh yeah, you were telling me about
now
that.
I don't believe in going and getting diagnosed, but I know that I had it because I went and I got hit by a school bus last year
Wow.
on March 3rd.
Wow.
And I walked right out of it.
That is
And-
March is a huge month for him as well. Sorry.
It was
Wow.
crazy. Like I just got out of the car and I was a little dumbfounded. But I mean, I just survived a bus hitting me.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. Did you just like step out on the street or like?
Well, my car was actually up on the median. And how it got up there, I have no idea. But I'm sure that I have angels all around me.
Wow. Wow.
That's amazing.
So was there no damage whatsoever?
I've had about $1,200 in damage done
Okay.
or more, but it only cost me to get the doors fixed.
Wow. But you yourself were good though, right?
I was fine.
Wow.
That's great.
I was fine, but I work with circulation magnetic therapy, and it's a technology that's bioelectric magnetic therapy. So you lay on a magnet mat, and it brings your circulation up to 12 hours for
Oh, wow.
8-minute session. So I work with my clients with that,
Wow.
and also with natural stem cell regeneration patches.
You were telling me about the natural stem cell. Tell me about that stuff.
Natural stem cell regeneration patch. It's it's like a little Band-Aid. So you're gonna peel this off, and you're gonna put it on the back of your hand, or I wear it on my neck. Like I run a house cleaning business. That I retired, and I'm in a lot of pain, so I use this.
I got you.
It doesn't treat, cure, or heal anything, but because of the copper peptides that you guys could even look that up online, it's building those stem cells.
Well, and how does that work?
Photogenesis light in your body that just connects from the patch, like vitamin D. When you walk outside, the sun hits your body. It's just the same with the patch, the light in our body, the natural light in our body.
Interesting. And how does that? And how long have you been using those?
I've been using them for about 3 months. And being a breast cancer survivor, I put one right underneath my breast. I put one on the back of my neck. And I'm also an avid roller skater and country line dancer.
That's
and
awesome.
So I'm very active. If you've got to teach it, then you got to do it.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
you're teaching it, you need to do it.
Yeah.
So I am very, very active in all kinds of physical things with my body.
That's awesome.
And the 5-step program that I created that's amazing is living that healthy lifestyle, which is what I plan on teaching people, is mindset, which mindset is the first thing.
Yep.
It's very important to have a
100%.
good mindset when you go into anything. So I teach on battlefield design with Joyce Myers. I love her. I hope to interview her someday.
that would be awesome. That'd be really cool.
So, and then the second step is water and nutrition, and then exercise and sleep.
And so with because I'm sure probably as soon as people think stem cell regeneration, they think fetuses. Like they're not used in any of these products.
No, not at all. No, this is a natural process that causes the copper peptide levels to build in the body, which builds the stem cells. So
Very
it's
cool.
a scientific fact
Very cool.
that our cells need oxygen.
That's awesome.
That's why I do circulation magnetic therapy, because when I got hit by the school bus, I had a lot of herniated things going on back here. And now I just sleep on my circulation therapy mat and use different things. I broke my wrist rollerblading. So I put it on there, and what it's doing, it's rejuvenating those cells and waking those cells up. So it's 12 hours on and 12 hours off.
Very cool. Very cool. And I know this stuff works because I don't even know if I told you this, Dad, but whenever I did my 50-mile run, this was like 2019, the end of 2019, I literally couldn't walk like the next day for like 2 weeks. And I have a chiropractor, and they used stuff like that as well. Like they put it was almost like a cloth that I guess had similar stuff in it. Because she was telling me about it. She's like, we're regenerating you.
That is it.
And it worked. Like, I was still in pain. I had to keep coming back to keep getting that regeneration. But like, I would go in on both crutches, and then I'd be able to kind of hobble out.
Yeah.
But
my plan is to work with sports because we have a lot of sports injuries.
Oh, yeah.
So I hooked up with Peter Blake, and Peter Blake's the sportscaster for the Bucks.
Oh wow! Nice,
And
yeah.
so I hooked up with him, and we're gonna do something with radio that he's doing.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited about helping people like instantly on the field.
Very cool.
Not
I
only
gotta get
good-
him on here. That'd be great.
I can
sports.
definitely hook you up.
Yeah, there you go.
I know he's a busy man, but I'm sure that he's going to be doing his own show. So
Yeah, and I know you had some questions too about it, right?
Yeah, for clarification, so no one misunderstands, when you're talking about the stem cells, these are sort of free cells. They don't really adhere to anything in particular except where they're needed in case of, like you're saying, injuries and that type
yes,
of thing.
that's true.
So what you've basically got is this is stimulating your own stem cells so that people understand this
Naturally.
isn't this isn't somebody else's stem cells, because that's a
No,
lot of times
right,
they talk
no.
about in
Yes, we
injecting
don't
other-
believe in that
right,
at
right.
all.
So I want people to understand that that's not
Yes.
what you're saying. You're not taking stem cells from anybody else.
No.
This is enhancing or
No.
trying to get your own stem cells
Right.
to respond.
It's kind of like I said, it's how the sun creates vitamin
Right,
D in
right.
our body.
The salt crystals.
Yeah,
Yes.
these are basically organic little salt
Yeah.
crystals that help to get the free radicals out of your body too when they build the stem cells. So when anybody's sick and their immune system is down, it's amazing to be able to work with things like alkalining your body. You know, the alkalinity versus acidity. But no, the answer to your question is that it is not. It's not abrasive.
Right.
It's working at the cellular level.
Right.
Naturally in the
Naturally.
body.
Your own
Yes.
body, right. And
Yeah.
that's the main
As
thing.
a
People
person
should
who had
understand.
suffered 11 years with, let's see, prostate cancer. I don't have the cancer, but prostate issues, okay? My let's see, father had passed away like 24 years ago from prostate cancer. My name's RJ, by the way.
Hi,
I know we were
RJ.
going around with it. And so what ended up happening was it's actually turning everything around. I was suffering. I had met Carrie a little over a month ago. I got on a patch. I was going to buy 2 little patches. I only had $50 in my pocket, so she gave me $50 worth. So, and within that week, my energy went through the roof. My mental clarity. I started getting younger. I put a patch here also, and I just had a haircut. She said, "Ron, your hair's going
Yeah,
crazy
it grew
back
about
here."
4 inches in
It
1
grew
month.
like 4 inches.
It's
That
like-
I just got rid of this big mohawk back not mohawk back there. That was funny. But beside that, I'm getting younger too.
He really is. I mean, I can tell from when I met him. You know, it's amazing. It's the youth that people are looking for. Now, as far as instant gratification, we are not going to say that anything's going to happen like that right away.
It takes time.
We've had amazing stories, but they're stories. So this doesn't cure, treat, or heal anything. You know, we have to make sure that we make that 100% clear. You do got to see your doctor. If your doctor says that you shouldn't use them, you need to maybe look at trying to find somebody that you can work out better with.
Yeah, I got you.
If they're telling you that you have to be on medication or you have to get vaccinated, that's your decision to make. But I will say this, that these patches will eventually over time build your immune system back up
We are seeing testimonies across the board.
to fight
Now,
against
it's
disease.
a daily 12 on. 12
Yeah, you
off,
put
is
it
that
on
what
for
it is?
12 hours to regenerate and activate those stem cells.
Yeah.
To give your stem cells a full day of 12 hours of regeneration.
How many should you wear?
You can wear as many as you want. That's
So I
a
could
great
just be
question.
all patched up?
Oh, I can patch it up. We do patching parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Mary Kay parties only for patching parties. And that's my goal, is to get the word out about that. But no, I mean it's we can't say that it does that, but we're seeing. I have a client who has MS. I saw him scooting up the stairs.
Wow.
I helped him with the circulation magnetic therapy. He could move his toes after 2 years of using it.
Wow. That's crazy.
And he can walk without a cane.
Yeah, now he's
awesome.
walking. Walked
his
into
life
the
is-
studio last week when we were interviewing him.
You know, and God is in the healing business.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you know, and so I believe that I give somebody a patch and I say a prayer.
That's awesome.
It's all in His hands.
And I know you said it is a little bit different for every person. Like it takes longer for some, shorter for others.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So-
My sponsor, friend, Bob, you know, he's huge in this, and we could even.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, so let's get back to the conversation. Sorry about that, guys.
That is okay.
But you were telling us the testimonials about the stem cell regeneration.
Yeah, so like my sister-in-law in Iowa, she ordered them because my mother-in-law said she was completely pain-free, and she was crying. And my sister-in-law was like, "Huh, I think I'll take advantage of this and order them." So she did. And she has a little bit of gut issues, what I talked about before, where the gut's really important to watch out for. And she's had a lot of digestive issues, and so she ordered the glutathione patches, and they're really good for the gut. So what happened though is that when she was done wearing the patch, she didn't want to throw it away because she was told she could put it on her dog, and she is a veterinarian. So she works with animals that have been abused or animals that she takes in and takes care of. She was telling me the story today. And she put the patch on her dog instead of throwing it away. And just that little bit of time after it already worked for 12 hours, it helped that dog in 1 month to start responding to her.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
It was instantly.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say. I didn't
try it.
Yeah. Well, and so what we're seeing with these animals, they need their stem cells built too.
Yeah.
So I just take one and put one on my little Yorkie, right there on his head.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
I
Yeah.
saw it.
So we
The
do
dog
have a
started
lot of-
jumping higher and doing tricks and everything.
We do have a lot of results with animals.
Yeah.
We've seen one named Coco that he went from being black, which is the color that you get when you get older, the dark black and the gray. And the eyes were really glassy, and the cataracts had come in. So, this dog was on the patches for about a month, and the cataracts, the color has gone back to the natural color that the dog was when it was younger. And the cataracts are all gone now, so you don't see the glassy look in the eyes anymore.
That's amazing. So how can people find this product? How can?
Well, I'm Carrie K, and I'm available at 515-822-4877, and they're $5 a day to just help people.
That's awesome.
And that's what our goal is to do, is just to get out there and change the world one patch at a time.
That's awesome. And where can they find your health and wellness podcast?
It's at Carrie K Davis, which is Facebook. It's CarrieKay Davis. But I'm also putting things on YouTube, which is the same. It's Carrie K Davis.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool.
And also with Instagram and Flapper, it's pretty easy to find me too. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you have any more questions, Tim?
Well, one thing I did want to ask, we were talking about, and I totally agree with you, you're talking about having a really large plant-based diet, and occasionally having some protein, generally red meat or whatever. And as you say, a lot of times we've overdone that.
yes.
Here's one of the problems. I'm going to go back to Grace. That's my daughter. She's a type 1 diabetic, and she's given me permission. I talked to her about this today before I came over, because I knew we were going to kind of go down this road. And I call her the canary in the mine. And, that's that thing where the miners went down, and if there was a gas leak, it would take them out. And so what they found out is if they took a canary down there and just kept it alive and feed it, as long as it was singing, they were okay. But if there was a leak, that canary would go first. And if that canary died, that meant get out of the mine. And that was a way that they knew something was going on. That's Grace. She's in a physical condition where things really affect her very, very strongly. And when we see the effects that certain foods have on her, it makes me wonder, okay, I wonder if they're having effects on us that because we're healthier, we don't really feel it, but yet it's occurring. Now, let me tell you why I'm asking that question. She was having terrible trouble eating tomatoes, eating anything that had to do with tomato sauce for spaghettis, this, that, and the other. We've got a garden, started growing tons of tomatoes, made sauce, she's been eating tomato sandwiches. Natural tomatoes don't hurt her, but if I go get a store-bought one, she can't eat it.
That's glyphosate.
So this is one of the issues I do see. I totally agree with you. We need to eat plant-based meals, but what is it we're getting in the stores? I mean, I know we go organic and this, that, and the other, but it's getting to the point now you wonder what is it.
Well,
you're
my
eating?
favorite store is Aldi's.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to brag on Aldi's. That's where I send my clients to because they're going to save a lot of money and they're going to get the plant-based foods. Yeah. And they have an awesome area for everything is all natural. There's some stuff, like I get the coconut-based milk, that it doesn't have any GMOs in it at all. So guys, we just got to educate. Education is the hugest thing. Become a label reader. If you see glyphosate on things, and they are lying to us because they know that we're aware of it now. We're aware of the fact that glyphosate is what we kill weeds with. Hello? Why was that ever put in our food to begin with? Or if you think back to the 1950s when Annette Funicello was the very first person to get MS. Why? She was a part of the Diet Pop company.
Yeah.
She was the active person sponsor of it.
And Diet Coke is just absolutely horrible.
And look at Michael J. Fox with Parkinson's disease.
What is that? What is that one thing called? Aspartame? Is it called?
That is exactly what it is. And I'm going to go back to the 1950s again because back after the World War, they used the rest of that. It is an Agent Orange ingredient. I'm just gonna give it to you the way it's the truth. They had a lot of that stuff left over after the World War II, and they decided to make a sugar, and that's the little pink and blue and yellow packets of Sweet and Low and saccharin. And over the years, the name has changed. The poison's still the same. It's like we're little rats that are eating so much of this saccharin. And, Splenda, for instance, my sister-in-law had drank that for 5 years, and they had suffered literally with so much inflammation and pain. Wow. So it's not healthy. If you're diabetic and your doctor says to get on Diet Pop, think about that.
Whoa.
Think about that.
Dude, if he ever recommended diet soda.
Well, they used to. The doctors would recommend to their clients to go on diet.
Yeah, wow.
And it's not right.
Then we have stevia.
I was going to ask you about
the stevia is a monk fruit. I even recommend monk fruit over any sugar. It's amazing. It tastes great. Natural honey. Go out to your farmers markets. We are so blessed to be here in Florida and be able to have our farmers markets because when I lived in Iowa, in the winter, 80 below zero, there's no farmers markets. And that's when Aldi's came in because they're a Christian-based company, and a lot of us are getting our products off the farm now. We have co-ops and things I can tell you about if we had more time, but you can actually get with the co-op and get grass-fed beef. And if you're going to do beef, just do grass-fed things and do all kinds of vegetables. So, but our vegetables are sprayed with glyphosate. That's the bottom line, and it's so sad. And there are seeds that we can't even grow because they won't multiply because they have GMOs in them. So we've got to find the seeds that are organically grown and not GMO. Anything that says non-GMO, and we have to believe that they're telling us the truth. So we have to do our education.
I had a radio host. His name's David Gronowski. He came on here however long ago. And if you're listening to this, man, shout out, buddy. But no, he was telling me how the seed oils destroy us as well. Like the seed oils and olive oil and canola oil and all that stuff. That it destroys our gut health.
Yes.
So what do you think about the seed oils?
I don't use those. I use the coconut oils. I use the avocado oils. You know, there's all these oils out there, and they say they do all these things. But I go more with the natural, like the grapeseed oil. I don't use that as often, but I use that instead of butter.
Wow. Okay.
And
yeah, he was saying that. He's saying like butter is horrible. He's like margarine. He's like, you got to get like pure butter.
You're
like,
eating plastic.
Yeah, he's like.
My husband, before he died, said to me, "I'm going to take a country crock butter and sit it out in the garage and see what happens." Because he was trying to show me that the light and the fat-free stuff, when I was going through the fad, you know, that wasn't good. So he set an actual butter container out in our garage with the lid off. Nothing touched it. There was not one little bug and we have lots of bugs in our garage, and you know, I'm just saying.
Wow.
So
That's scary.
Yeah, that's
Scary.
bugs won't even eat it because it's manufactured plastic,
Chemicals.
and that's what people are eating.
And then like Coke, you can like.
I
get
clean my
rust
toilet
off of
with it.
Yeah, rust.
I
off
can
it.
clean my toilet with it.
Accident
Seriously.
scenes, they use Coke to clean up the accident scenes.
Yeah.
All these are becoming more and more and more GMO. I was talking with the management there about 2 months ago.
Non-GMO, you mean?
Yeah, to go
Yes.
non-GMO, and they're bringing more and more of those.
They are. They
products.
have
the
a line.
brothers, all these, and also the other one.
They have a line called
Yeah.
Simple Nature.
Simple Nature.
And I buy everything in Simple Nature, and it's so affordable. So we just gotta educate where
Yeah.
we need to go. I stay away from Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they don't even give people
For more than
jobs
just food
anymore.
reasons. Yeah.
For more than just food reasons, right? Well, you guys, our food's coming from China.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
Hello,
know, we
wake
know how much they
up.
love us. They love us though. They
And
wouldn't hurt
another
us.
thing I want to interject that you guys are going to
Really?
love. So if you take a chicken and you take it off the farm and it's happy, it's such a happy chicken, right? You're going to have a happy meal. But if you eat a chicken that is laying there in its nastiness all day long, and that's all it has a life for, it has no life. It's just laying there. It's not going to be of any value to us.
Yeah.
God wanted us to enjoy the chickens that are in the yard, you know, that are healthy,
Natural, yeah.
that are natural.
If I can interject something, I knew a gentleman earlier this year that got into that business. They're put into a room and the wall expands as they grow. They put a flooring. The company supplies everything. 2 backup ACs, the big silo for all the food, and the level that they come in and clean the floors, and as they die, they get them out. And when they fully become, but they have no place to run. They're all jam-packed in this room.
Yeah, so I learned that the way we treat our animals, I mean, they're God's gift to us. I don't even think I want to eat a cow anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Not after, I mean, but it's just really super, super important that our food is grass-fed.
Yeah.
You know, that our I do a plant-based diet 5 days a week, strictly plants. And then if I choose 2 days a week that I want to treat myself, because come on, let's face it, I like my cheesecake.
Absolutely.
So we can't deny our body of the things that we like. It's just everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Put the fork down and don't go to the all-you-can-eat buffets.
And what do you think of like intermittent fasting?
That's amazing.
Oh, that's pretty
I've done
cool.
intermittent fasting for the last several years, and it's amazing. Our body it goes into that homeostasis and that detox, and it's very healthy for you to go into that for a few hours.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend people with any type of diseases or anything, illnesses like diabetes or anything
absolutely.
to do any intermediate fasting.
Healthy
First of all, I
people do.
do want to say that. You know, I did learn a lot in school, and so it's very important to know that you can't go into that. But if you are very healthy and you can do intermediate fasting, it's pretty awesome.
I love it. I do it every now and again. And I actually just feel, I mean, even though, you get hungry, but like, there's just a point where you're just like, you start to feel more clear, and it's just amazing. I love intermittent fasting. Huge proponent for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So I have that's part of my program, and then eliminating things in your diet. That's really important.
Like what?
So.
What's something that we think that you should just, none of it?
Well, we probably should stay away from gluten. Now I know they
Yeah.
talk a lot about but it does really have a lot to do with your gut flora. And the reason that the gluten is because they have the glyphosate in our foods.
Yeah.
So I stay away from a lot of breads and things that pastas and things that aren't good for me.
Like
I work more with the spinach and carrot pastas, and Aldi sells all those. You know, natural spaghettis. Not so much the wheat and the wheat germ is really not healthy for us. The gluten. So definitely for people that have that really their gut, they're trying to work on that. They need to stay away from gluten.
The spaghetti. They got the tomato burrito shells.
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Well, we have to be careful of some of
Yeah,
those, though. Some of those you have to be careful because they have the bleach white flour in all of them. But
like her and
it's sad. There's something on
I know.
Netflix called The Wheat. The Wheat. It's about wheat or What the Health. Have you ever seen that on Netflix?
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
That is the best documentary. Like everything I've talked about today is going to be on that show.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
interesting. Yeah.
That would be interesting to watch,
Yeah.
I'll have to go back to Aldi's again because we kind of transitioned to Publix and Walmart, but...
You're going to save a lot of money.
No, I know. I love Aldi's.
gosh.
It's just literally like
Big
Publix
time.
is right there, so I'm like...
It's the convenience.
It's,
Yeah,
convenience
yeah.
is killer. Oh my goodness.
But they
Especially
do
when
have
you're
a
busy.
really great line that's all organic and
Yeah.
non-GMO.
Yeah.
So we just, and here's the sad thing. They jack up the prices.
Yeah, they
I
do.
know.
Yeah, they do.
But
Little
Aldi's
fancy.
does not do that.
No, Trader Joe's, they're brothers. They went in business in Germany. They're
Right,
actual
yeah.
brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't carry everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it kind of balances out between Trader Joe's and then Aldi's brothers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd read an article on Aldi's, and it was
Yeah.
just their foundation and history was just glowing. It was just really
Yes.
something the way that they came up. And they have great prices. You want cheap milk? Go buy
I
it there.
know,
yeah.
They got the
Oh,
best
great.
price, so they really.
But
have
I
good
do
prices.
prefer almond milk and coconut milk and nutrition
Yeah.
milk
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
guys, they're putting too many hormones in our milk.
Agreed, yeah.
And we need to be hormone free.
Yeah.
Because if we're not, then we're going to cause cancer in our body, and that's not what we want. And
No.
then you were also talking about sugar and sugar being deadly. So with my breast cancer, when they found the lump, I had to completely get sugar out of my body. And we all struggle with sugar still. I still struggle with it.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad. Like it should almost be criminal because like it's literally an addictive drug. It's like you're still struggling with it, and it's like what if I just never would have had anything that's like just drenched in sugar, and then maybe
Because you eat a little bit, you want more. You eat a little
Exactly.
bit. Like
Yeah.
last night,
Oh my
I had a
gosh.
piece of chocolate. I haven't
Oh,
had
no.
one in a while.
and then your dopamine's like, oh
And then
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I could eat some chips and salsa.
Yeah, we both like chips and salsa. There we go.
So it's just all about education with food
Yeah.
and what we're putting in our bodies. And please be aware that there are foods out there that 40,000 to 60,000 foods that are tainted with glyphosate. And don't think that they're not doing that because they are. And it's really sad. But the consumer education is huge.
Yeah, and not to get too political, but it's just amazing to me that like you got media lying, you got the food, the things that we're eating, people are lying what's in that, and it's even
The food
education.
pyramid's changed. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Yeah, I did
It's
see
totally
that.
changed.
I did see that,
And
it's
it's just rude the way that's changed.
doctors and like just so many liars out there, and it is hard to know the truth. But I'm to the point now, like if it's anything on the media, I just do the opposite.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm probably more likely going to be fine if I do the opposite of what they're saying.
And what's so great is about your show is that you're out there doing something awesome for other people and reporting the news. That's what I'm doing.
Well, and I appreciate that. I want people to come on to be able to give points of views because people like CNN. If you like CNN, this show's not for you. But if you're watching that stuff and that is where you get your truth. You know what I'm saying? And you're not trying to talk to people on the other side, or you're not trying to, have some type of open dialogue, and your goal is to actually to shut those people down. You're the problem. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we're the unhealthiest now than we were 100 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason why, you know, there's more animosity now than there was, you know, 100 years ago. You know, not that we didn't have our fair share of problems, but like we're literally at like a cold civil war at this point.
We are, and with living a healthy lifestyle, we intend to go out and educate the masses on everything. Now, if you decide to get the vaccination, that's on you. But for me personally, and for my family, we just need to build our immune system.
Right.
We just need to bow up. We need to stop eating these foods that are not good for us. We need to stop sitting around on the couch and go out and take a walk and reinvent yourself if you have to. That's what I had to do after getting hit by the bus.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me. People's solutions are, let me get a shot, not let me go outside, let me run, let me change my diet, it's this convenience thing. You know what, give me a pill, give me a shot, and it doesn't fix the problem. It just masks it for a short amount of time at the cost of something else.
Right.
Yeah, because later on, you know, like my father was told that he was going to have to be on dialysis. And he told the doctor, he said, no, I'm not going on dialysis. Yeah. I got a daughter who does stem cell regeneration patches.
That's awesome.
And she's teaching me how to eat.
I've got two friends from the media. Al Keck, who was he's an Emmy award winner newscaster for ABC News. He got up because he was told to be regulated of what he could say and could not. Al Keck on ABC, another one, Reginald Roundtree, good friend of mine. And also, let's see, Al Keck. He rolled over into Bay News 9. Now he's on 28.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
We sang together. We're all Christians too, and I was on stage singing with him. Great voice and everything. Great guy. And he got out because he moved out of that field because of the regulators. Yeah. They were regulated to what they could and could not say. Yeah. And now he's a strong advocate to help people share the truth of what's going on out there.
Well, and that's what I'm doing is sharing the truth. You know, I mean, it all started with our God, our Creator, and it's going to finish. And we've already won. We've already won the war. Now we just got to go through and educate everybody that is the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yeah, we just got to try to bring as many people with us in the truth. That's awesome. Was there anything else? Was there anything else that anybody wanted to touch, and then we can start wrapping it up?
I appreciate that. That was good information. What this basically does, and I think that's what you're trying to do, is get up enough interest so people will check it out and see what this is all about. We talked about anecdotal evidence and then actual clinical evidence and stuff. And as you had indicated, that information is out there for people that want to look it up. So what it's prodded me to do is, okay, I'm going to check this out, see what the information is behind it. So that's very
and really you just go to www.startx39 and watch the video.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good
That's okay to do. It's okay to give the website.
Cool. And so where can people find you at again one more time?
They can find me on social media under Carrie K. Davis, CarrieKay Davis. And my phone number is 515-822-4877. And I'm available to sit down and do a full consultation with them. I'm very affordable. I'm not about money. I'm about helping people.
Very cool. Very cool. And anything you wanted to add or say?
The nice thing about it, since I had gotten into this for my health, and I wanted my life since I had lost my dad from prostate cancer. And when I was very young, I had horrible stuttering issues. When I came to know the Lord, through a series of events, my family would tell me, maybe you just need to keep singing, since I love singing. Wow. Mel Tillis back in the day, when he sang, he didn't stutter. You know, and the nice thing about it, and then years, I came from California, like Carrie came. I was born in LA, raised up Southern California, came out here nearly 30 years ago. And after being married a long time ago, I never thought I was going to go through a divorce. And then I met Carrie, and then she introduced me to this. I was involved with singing, going to independent living places, doing my own shows.
Oh, and now we're going to do that together.
Now we're doing that together, and Wonderful.
So we're incorporating everything
we're working
together.
and it's
You know,
wonderful.
it's all about
Absolutely
networking. It's
wonderful.
all about education. It's all about meeting the people and getting the information out to as many as you can in the masses. It's whether or not they have the choice to believe or not to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's up to them. We just present it, and what they do with it's on them.
Yep, that's so true.
We've got testimonials across the board. People's lives are being changed.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Anything you want to add, Pops?
That about covers it, son. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I really do appreciate it. It's good meeting you guys.
Likewise.
And I'm excited to see your journey unfold even more. And I'm excited to try the product. I think
Yeah, and we would love to be on the show again.
absolutely.
Ron and I are doing an actual study into what we can do to take care of ourselves during these times.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Growing our own fruit.
I grew my own vegetables.
Ago, we were at the store buying all these plants. We got the upside down plastic bins.
We made our own garden.
Our own greenhouse.
Yeah.
Photosynthesis to grow the seeds. And we got all kinds of stuff.
Because you can control your own garden and not have anything in it.
He's got a whole thing, like a whole yard just garden.
Yeah.
He's really good at it.
And it is a difference.
There is a difference when you raise your own
everything.
chickens. There's a difference because you gave them love, and then you got to sacrifice.
I know, really.
The hens love me, the rooster doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, nobody likes the rooster at 6 o'clock in the
There is
morning
a reason.
anyways.
Too bad you can't turn off and on that.
That's awesome.
Really.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll have you guys again very soon.
Yeah,
And,
we appreciate it.
So if you guys can look them up. You guys heard where to find her. So thank you guys for watching so much. And we will catch you again on the next episode of Bustin Experience. Love you guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.